Hey guys. Whoa, that was kind of loud. Sorry. It's Cam Gwyn, and this is Gwynology, and today I'm talking about the NBA draft. It was a fun year for the draft. We got a lot of talent that came into the NBA now. So let's talk about it. I got the draft lottery and what the Pistons did too. So obviously we kind of already knew what was going to happen, but the number one pick in the draft, that was a half-assed drum roll, I'm sorry. But number one pick in the draft obviously was Zion. You can't go wrong with that. It didn't matter who it was going to be coming into the number one spot. Zion was going number one. Didn't matter what you needed. It didn't matter who you were, what team you were picking Zion. And the New Orleans Pelicans were able to grab him. That's cool. So we got to go with the number two pick now. We had Memphis was at the number two spot, and actually Memphis agreed to trade Mike Conley over to the Jazz, one of their top players, one of the most underrated point guards in the league. He didn't really have the best couple years, the past 2 years, but he's still a really good point guard. So the Jazz pick him up. Jazz with Donovan Mitchell and Mike Conley now. That's a pretty good tandem. So that's something fun to look at. But Memphis ended up picking up Ja Morant. They got rid of Mike Conley to pick up their future point guard, Ja Morant, who's going to be amazing. I think I put a star next to him. Can't really read my handwriting anyway, but I put a star next to him because I think Ja Morant is probably going to have one of the better careers from this draft class. I think he is more suited for the NBA. He is one of few players that is suited to be in the NBA as is right now without much more he needed to add to his arsenal. So that's a good pickup. Ja Morant, number two to Memphis. Number three, the New York Knicks pick up RJ Barrett from Duke. Can't go wrong with that. RJ Barrett was the number one recruit coming into last season until Zion burst onto the scene and had an outstanding year. He is an unreal talent. But RJ Barrett, also an unreal talent. So number four pick was with the Lakers, which actually got traded to New Orleans for Anthony Davis in their whole package that they sent over. But the number four spot ended up going to Atlanta, and they got DeAndre Hunter from Virginia. And if you guys don't remember DeAndre Hunter, he was one of the best Virginia players. He's a good defender, very athletic, very good pickup for he's going to be in Atlanta. And then number five for Cleveland, Darius Garland from Vanderbilt. Good point guard, good pickup. He's going to work really, really well with Colin Sexton. And I think Beeline has a good chance right here with two young, talented point guards who can play off of each other pretty well. Colin Sexton's not the best shooter, but he's not a bad shooter. And Darius Garland is a good shooter, already proven good shooter. So that's a good tandem to have. And then number six, with Phoenix had that pick, they picked up Jarrett Culver from Texas Tech. And if you guys don't remember, lockdown defender and a sniper from the three, dude. He was really, really good. But that pick is ended up going to Minnesota, and Phoenix got the 11th pick, which I'll get to in a second, and also got rid of Phoenix swapped picks and gave up Dario Saric to grab the 11 pick. So Jarrett Culver is going to be with Minnesota. And then number 7 overall, Kobe White. For those of you who don't know, North Carolina Tar Heel, he had the big hair. He hasn't cut his hair in a couple years, I guess is what the story was. His dad got really sick and ended up passing because of it. So that's a really good pickup for Chicago at the number 7 spot. Number 8 spot, which is where we flipped the New Orleans pick and the Atlanta pick. So Jackson Hayes from Texas, good center, good defender, good post play, very good rebounder, good pickup for New Orleans, not Atlanta. So New Orleans now has Zion and Jackson Hayes. The rebounding is going to be hard to compete with New Orleans. So the number 9 pick from Washington, they picked up Rui Hachimura from Gonzaga, the Japanese superstar. Boy is sweet. He is so good. He's got a similar, his play style, I should say, because he's tall and lengthy. Play style is very similar to the Greek freak Giannis Antetokounmpo without all the complete talent that Giannis already has. So that's a good pickup for Washington. You add that to the Bradley Beal and John Wall tandem that they got going on. It's a good pickup. Atlanta, the number 10 pick, ended up getting Cam Reddish from Duke, who, I mean, Cam Reddish is really good, don't get me wrong. He was that third piece that Duke had, but I think if he would have stayed another year at Duke, it would have really benefited him. But number 10 spot goes to Atlanta, Cam Reddish. Number 11 spot, Minnesota picked up Cam Johnson from North Carolina, which the number 11 pick is actually going to Phoenix. So Cam Johnson is going to be in Phoenix, the North Carolina Tar Heels as well. And then we got Charlotte at the 12 spot. They picked up P.J. Washington Jr. from Kentucky. And if you guys remember, P.J. being hurt for Kentucky was really detrimental to Kentucky's ability to compete. So he's a good piece, good pickup for Charlotte. And Miami had the 13 pick. They ended up picking Tyler Hero from Kentucky, who was kind of a weird pick because he wasn't really projected to go that high, but they must see something in him that the rest of us don't see. Very cool. And then the 14 spot to round out the lottery went to Boston, and they picked up Romeo Langford from Indiana. That's not a bad pick. I mean, Boston's really, really smart when it comes to trades and drafts. You can't really mess with them. Danny Ainge knows what he's doing. And then so now that we got the draft lottery out of the way, guess who was just outside of the lottery with the 15 pick? Pistons. And they ended up picking up, I'm going to say it so wrong, and I'm sorry. But we ended up picking up as the Pistons Sakov Demboye from France. He's an 18-year-old, youngest player in the draft to get drafted. And I've been watching a little bit of a highlight reels from him just to see what he's about. And he's a good two-way player. Everywhere that I'm reading says that it is a grade A. We got an A for this pickup. It sounds like he's going to be a good player. So that's exciting. Only 18 years old, a lot of potential, really, really good shooter. He's only been playing basketball for 6 years, which is kind of weird. So you got all this room to grow. And he's been playing professional since he was 15. Kind of like Luka Doncic. And that worked out really good for the Mavs. So we'll see how it works out in Detroit. He's a point guard, very good shooter, very good defender. I'm excited to start watching him and see what he can do. And Dwayne Casey has a record of being able to coach these point guards. So Pistons are looking good. What else did the Pistons do in the draft? Well, I'll tell you. We ended up, right before the draft, we traded with the Bucks. We gave them John Lure, and we got Tony Snell, who is a good pickup. And we also got the draft rights to Kevin Porter Jr., who has been hyped up tremendously before the draft started and everything. He's from USC. It sounds like a good pickup. We'll see how it pans out. Tony Snell is already proven, already showed to be a good NBA player. Not an amazing all-star type of player, but a really, really good, competitive, nice piece to have. What else did we do? Well, we ended up trading and got the 35th pick overall from team is escaping me right now. But we got another name I'm going to struggle with, the Lithuanian Davidas Servidas, who hasn't really gotten a lot of attention, hasn't really gotten a whole lot of praise. We got a C rating from CBS and a couple other places. He's 6'6", 6'7", lengthy, but can push the ball. It seems like it's going to be a decent pickup, but we'll see how it pans out. And then with the 45th pick, we picked up Isaiah Roby from Nebraska, and that, like, I heard during the draft when that happened, that is the first Nebraska player to get picked in the draft in almost 20 years. So, like, wow. Very interesting, very excited to see how it pans out. And then with the 57th pick, we got the draft rights to Jordan Bone from Tennessee, who played alongside Admiral Schofield. I don't know if you guys remember him or not, but he is a stud. So we'll see how that pans out. From me, I think the Pistons did really good this year in drafting. I mean, we don't really have much to compare it with because we had just really bad years with Van Gundy picking up players. He couldn't really draft that well. He wanted certain players for certain things, and I mean, they just haven't really panned out. But I'm excited to see how the Pistons will do with their draft class this year. I mean, Sekov Demboye from France, I mean, like I said, 18 years old, has a lot of room to grow, only been playing basketball for 6 years, so he might not be the smartest basketball player, but he is an athlete, and once he gets that basketball IQ heightened and starts growing and learning how the NBA is going to work, I believe that he will be a good talent. I don't know how good he's going to be in the NBA, but I do believe that he is going to be a good talent, especially when you pair him up with people like Andre Drummond and Blake Griffin, who he can kind of, if he is in trouble, dump it into the post and kind of let them do their thing. Jordan Bone, Isaiah Robbie, and Davidis, I don't know how much they're going to be playing or contributing this year, but they seem to be decent pickups to add to our bench to try to get our bench heightened up, because we didn't really, once we got past Andre Drummond and the spotty Reggie Jackson, I'm still not loving him. Once we get past that, we really had nobody. Our bench had nothing. So we got a deeper bench now. We'll see how it pans out. So I guess that's all I really got to talk to you about. We went through the draft lottery, told you about what the Pistons got. It's going to be a fun season. We'll see who we get. And you know what? Just for fun, let's just say that Zion's going to be Rookie of the Year more than likely. If he does what he did at Duke, even if it's not to that extent, because he's going to have higher talent against him and he's going to be guarded heavily, he's going to get a wake-up call like DeAndre Ayton did, and it might take him a little bit to adjust. But DeAndre Ayton, if you remember, was a great talent in college, didn't do so well at the beginning of the season, but had a good season overall for a rookie. So Zion is probably going to get punished a little bit. He's probably going to get smacked or pushed around a little bit, even though he is that big body. But I think Zion is going to do just fine in the NBA. He is the most hyped player we've heard about since LeBron. So that's what I got for you. If you guys like this video, give it a like. Super easy for you. Helps me out a little bit. And if you guys like any of my videos, be sure to subscribe. I invite you to it. I appreciate it. So thank you guys for watching. Cam Gwynn. I'll talk to you later.